Hello, everyone. This is Jaya for the session of digitalization with an interesting case study. So, in this session, we will try to understand how the digitalization is helping the business module as well as the domestic value. And secondly, with an interesting case study with the QR code. So first slide is comprises of a scenario where there are two friends who are working in a business tours where David is earning more and Bob is earning less. So we'll understand what is the reason behind it, why Bob is earning so less in his business. So according to me, Bob is earning less because he's using a traditional way of working. The reason behind the he's taking all the physical papers, approvals, looking for the accommodation in a physical manner. That's why it is taking a lot of time to complete the services, as well as the customers are really not happy with the service. Nowadays, if you look around, the people are looking for instant resolution, instant service for their things. On the other hand, when I see David is earning more than that. Why? Because he's using the digitalization method in a business module. So whenever he wanted to draft a document or wanted to get the approvals or going for a accommodation or he is looking for a visa part. These he's doing all the things in a digitalization manner, and he's also helping the customer in an instant way. So the customer is really happy with his work, and he or she is giving more and more business to him. But here the Bob is getting less business because of his traditional way of working. So this is how the difference comes between why David is earning more and Bob is earning less. Now we'll understand what is the difference if we talk about the difference between. So the difference between the traditional method and the digitalization method would be like the traditional method always have a lot of time consumption, a lot of manpower is used, a very high costing is there, then slow processing, and the risk of errors is more than that. So when we talk about an digitalization method, so there are less time consumption, risk of errors is very low, then a faster processing, very low manpower is used. So these things comprises of digitalization methods. So these are the points we can say about that. It helps in our business module if we have digitalization tool in our business module. So this is how the difference we come to know between the traditional and digital method. So now we'll talk about or what is digitalization. If we come across with the digitalization, it's more about comprises of four factors, that is the technology, data, process, and organizational change. So when we talk about the technology, if we are using technology, and it should be a very fast technology which gives the consumer a good interface or a good type of a friendly app or a website which makes the consumer happy and which he doesn't have to go around and search if it is really prominent on the interface only, so he can go around and check out the thing, and this will be a less time consumption for the consumer. So this is how we talk about the technology. So that is related with the data. So whatever we are putting in the website, so it's basically a data which is the technology is taking up. So when this data is being made, we can compile it online, we can get the analysis for the same, we can get how much is the product has it, what is the feedback for this particular product. So this is how the data is connected. Then comes the automated process where it resolves the complexity of the business. When it is automated, you can get more and more centralized information about the brand or the company. So this is how the digitalization works when it is really looked into a business tool. So when we talk about the digitalization, it works in many ways. If we use in a domestic way, if you want to keep all documents on an online platform, or we want to scan the photograph and keep it online. So these are some things which we can talk about digitalization. So now we'll understand what is the importance of digitalization. So what do you understand if I say in an importance of digitalization? It is somewhat what you called the importance would be like this, that the risk of errors is very less. So I'll quote with an example. If I am taking about the errors, if we go in an to book a ticket for a plane or a book a ticket for a movie theater, let's assume I go for a traditional way. I book a ticket for some particular movie for a particular mall and the timings. But when I get home, I saw that the ticket has some problem in it. There wasn't a risk of error because I'm doing it a traditional way. So I did not get a chance to look over the timings were not correct. I'm taking just such a simple example for it. Then when I go in an online way, so I can see the entire thing for that particular movie or a theater or a mall in which I'm going to watch a movie. So this is how the risk of errors when I'm doing in a digitalization way, I'm getting all the details and I can make that booking very perfectly. But when I'm going in a traditional way, one or the other thing is missed into it. So this is the one point which comprises of why it is important. Second is the retention of the customer, which we talk about when we are using, when we have made an app like a domestic app for all the products, each and every product we have made a one single app and we have made the interface, everything is good. So if in that particular app, if a consumer gets stuck or he has some query or has some complaint about the product or something, so if the representative helps those customers, then the customer will be naturally be happy, because if I'm putting into the consumer shoes, so if I'm getting the good service from a particular app or a website, I'll be really happy because they are trying to solve the issue for us. that's the that is the main thing which all the consumers required. So when we talk about this, so if the representative help the customers, so that becomes an extra thing that the consumer will be happy. Second, he'll recommend this web or app to the other people, and you'll get the repeat purchases. Why will you get the repeat purchases? Because that is a confidence level the consumer will have, that whenever I'll stuck in this particular app or website, I'll be getting help, I'll be getting assisted by the representative, and I will not face any problem in this particular website. So this is how a point when we talk about the importance of digitalization. Third point would be, I would suggest that there would be like the retention of the customers. Second, the secure docs. So whenever we are drafting any document or something, even a proposal, we are preparing a presentation or we are preparing a proposal for it, so we are drafted it and keep it online. But if the system crash, so we can get that document retrieved, we can fix that document, everything we can do, because it will give the suggestion for the correction even. But can you think these things have in a traditional manner? No. Whatever we draft, if it is lost, it's lost. We can't do any rectification, we can't do any correction in that. So we have to go through the entire process again. So that's, we see this difference, that in a traditional way it's a lot of time consuming, but whereas in a digitalization way it's a less time consumption. This is how we mark about the importance. Lastly, but not the least, digitalization's importance is in another way also when we are working on a business tool, and if we want to promote some of our products or something, so or a brand or a company, we can do it in a social media. Now everybody is active in social media pages, you all know, and you'll agree with it, ki every second you are getting a pop-up in a Facebook, or uh, you can say in a, when you're searching for some data or article or something. So you, every time you get at a pop-up that these are the product, this is the information about the particular product, the price of the product. So we can make that, we can able it able to grab the consumer's attention. that this product is also available in this particular website, and we can go and we can get a wonderful deals for it. You all agree with this? Because everybody wants deals. Nobody wants to go for the MRP or something. If it is giving 10% also, you will be happy. If I say about myself, I'll be also happy if I'm working, because I'm always be in an online person. And so I used to buy everything online, whether it is a grocery, whether it is anything. So I'm getting good deals. So I'm very happy with the product, with the assistance, everything. So these are the 4 points, major points, which collaborate the importance of digitalization. Now we come for the examples of digitalization. So when we talk about the examples of digitalization, so we can talk about, like, earlier, whenever we go for buying a credit card, or we are talking about a loan, if we want a loan for a car. So earlier we used to go to the office, stand for us the queue, and it takes a lot of time. That is, we call it traditional way. But nowadays what happens, that everything is came online. The form is online, you can do the digital signature online, and you can go through it. So that is how it works actually. So when we talk about this, so this is the processing work becomes fast if we talk about digitalization way. But when we talk about traditional way, it takes a lot of time for the processing. But here in a digitalization way, you can put all the details, you can put the photograph, you can even put the signature digitally, and it makes your work easier. Your time is not consumed much. So this is what the consumer nowadays want: instant resolution, instant solution for everything, whatever, whenever they are stuck into that particular app or website. This is the one of the examples I can quote. Or second, we can quote about the digitalization. Even we can do the banking transaction. This is a major part. When we go to the nationalized banks, we always have to stand in a queue and wait for our time. But when we do it online, we don't have to stand anywhere. We just have to go on an online transaction dashboard, and you can do the transaction as much as you want. You don't have to wait for anybody else to assist you or something. It is all well disciplined in an online platform. This is how we take the digitalization in a more convenient way, because I'm one person, I'm doing all the transaction online. So that makes it really easy and convenient for me, because I don't have to go every time to the bank to get through my things. So this is what I'll suggest for the examples of digitalization. So now we come about the advantages. So if I want to discuss, or you may have get some points when we have earlier in this session have discussed about what is digitalization with a scenario, what are the differences, then we have come to the importance even. Now we'll discuss about the advantage. So when we talk about the advantages, it is always come in our mind that advantages, like, it is a time saving, which I have already told you. It's a really cost saving. That is the second part. Third is a accuracy, which I talk about the risk of the errors, which are very less in a online platform. But we do in a traditional way, there are a lot of errors and you can't rectify it. It takes a lot, consume your time. Easy distribution. So what I have explained in the earlier slides, when we do the easier distribution, how do we do it? So when I have to promote any of my product of my particular company, if I'm taking if I'm doing a business on an online platform, so in my view, if I want to promote my brand or something, so I will promote it on social media, because that is more convenient for me to give the information to the consumers, and it will grab like 100 to 200 consumers. But if I'm talking about in a traditional way, it takes like an hour, that one or two customers will be there, or three or four. But if I'm doing it online and putting it on Facebook or Instagram or anyway, so many of the attention are grabbed from there. Secondly, I have seen, because most of the businesses, small businesses, if I talk about, like even a bakery, so they are all dealing on an online platform. So when I talk about, say, they take the deliveries on the Instagram account, they are talking about how to do it and whatever the services we require, they are talking about it and taking it. So this is how social media plays an important and vital role when we are talking about the digitalization. Second last would be a secured part, which is I'll described is as all the documents, all the data, everything is secured in an online platform when we talk about it, because it is whenever it is your system there is a disaster or anything, if it is even deleted by you, it can be retrieved any which ways. It can be rectified. So these things are secured in a way when we are taking digitalization tool in our business module. Increase in profit, that means when you retain those customer, you will get that increase in your business flow, you can get that repeat purchases, even you can have a good profit out of it if you're trying to help the consumer in such a way that the consumers are really happy. So these are the pointers, or if you can say these are the ingredients that makes a digitalization, and it becomes an important tool when we try to imply it in a business module, which is really more important, because when you do that you get a lot of things in an online platform and you have get new strategies. You can create any innovation over a particular about your brand or a product. So this is how when we talk about digitalization, these things come as an advantage, but when we talk about the traditional part, these advantages are seriously not there. You can't talk about that, because even a simple shopkeeper is sitting in a shop, and you all know when they are sitting in a shop that many people don't come in the shop, they just look from the outside and go. So I've everybody nowadays, after this pandemic, every person is looking for an online thing, and they are actually doing their purchases or wanted to rent a home or anything. They are doing everything in online because it's a less time consumption. Nowadays nobody has the time so much that he can just go here and there and find out the things. Even I will also, if I'm being put in that situation that if I have to look for a home, I'll look it on the platform, I'll look it for the magicbricks.com, and I'll try to look out the experience feedback. I can get each and everything about that particular property. But if you see about in a traditional way, you have to run here and there, you have to get the feel of that particular product or a property, and then you can able to decide. So that takes a lot of time for that particular decision. But when we are doing in a digitalization way, the decision part is very less time consumption if you're seeing, and if you are comparing all these things to 2 to 3 website, you can get your net result. That is what are the advantages of the digitalization when we talk about. Now I'll be concluding with a case study which is dealing with a QR code. You all know what is a QR code, and it's a simple image of a black and white, but it has a powerful impact when we use in certain areas, because if we use in a payment part also, that has, if we just scan this image, so we can go to the payment wallet and we can pay the vendor. So this has the most credible impact even for the small things also. You can have a QR code on a product, you can have a QR code in your company's website. So this is what is a QR code. It's a simple image, but it has a impact. So I am representing the company of Uxlivinglab, where everything is being done by through this QR code. So when I'll be sharing you with the website plus with the calendar appointment if you want to talk about this company. So this company, basically, I can tell you that it's a market research consultant where you can get report analysis or a customer insights for your brand, for your company, so that you can understand where your company is standing, where your brand is having this place, and how the customer is reacting to your particular products. So this is what we do. We do analytic research. We try to get you the reports weekly basis so that you can understand that analytical data for your company, for your brand, which is really useful nowadays. This is, I would say, this is the most important thing. Everybody wants it. Why they want it? Because see, every business in a physical manner, we can't have those records. We can't compile it. But when we are doing in an online platform, this is really very interesting to do it because it saves a lot of time in doing it. We can compile the data, we can get that feel that how much is the percentage, what is the feedback of the customer. So we are into that particular platform where we can help you to get through the insights, we can help you to get the reports about your brand, company, and even the feedback of the customers if you want. So this is a purely analytical reports from our company. And the registration part is really simple. You have to put your name and your email ID and your QR code is ready. And you don't have to wait for your service to be done. As soon you worked out for your appointment, you can just and the appointment notification will go to us and to you. You can choose your preferred time and we can call through it and we can speak about it, whatever you want information about the product, or you want to know about the pricing for the packaging or the logistics, anything you want to know about our company, just let me know so that I can help you out. So my case study is basically stands with the QR code, and this QR code can be used in railways. This is a new thing. um, Earlier it was not there. We can have to just click on a machine, ticket machine, and then we get the ticket. So in my case study, there's something which I will show you, that is, this is QR code. So when we are talking about this QR code, so when you scan it, you will get this type of website where you can just, when you install this particular app, then you will get a QR code and you scan it, and then a ticket booking link will come, and after that link you can just book the ticket, whatever the seats or your information or anything you require, you can just scan it and book your e-ticket for trains. Earlier what happened, I can accumulate with this because earlier when we used to book tickets for our trains, it's a really difficult thing to do because there, in the earlier days, there was a ticket counter and it has a limited time frame where if you don't go to that particular time frame, the ticket counter is closed. So there were a tatkal thing was there where you can just, if you book for a tatkal, the price is heavy, but you get your the seat which you wanted and the date which you want to travel. So this is how when we book a manual ticket. So these things have become a really hectic for the people because nobody wants to stand in a queue to get a normal ticket. As you all know, everybody wants that it should be very easy, very convenient for us because we don't want to stand there at a heavy sunshine and standing in under the sun and waiting for a service to be done. So this is a new thing which I have come across because when I used to travel, I used to take a manual ticket, but now it has become very easy for me. If I have to go somewhere in a domestic place, I can go any Ahmedabad, I can go to Gujarat. So this is the most easiest and convenient way. When we scan that, it gives a link, and first, if we scan this image, we get this page, then we install it, we get a link, and then we can book those tickets, whatever the date we require, whatever the berth we required. Even we can get all over the information what we wanted, even our piano number, we everything we get through one single QR code, which is really, really cool, where you don't have to go here and there to search for the website or something. So it is in that particular QR code which makes the thing possible for you. So this is how when we are dealing about these things, so QR code is really very easy if you see for any services. If you're even for a payment also, if you see, it's a very easy, you just scan it and the payment has been transferred. So this is how the QR code works. Even with the phone number also, it can do the payment function. So when we talk about this ticketing part, ticketing, flight tickets were already there online. So that is one point, but train tickets is a new thing where we can just scan it and you can get that link and you can book the ticket for yourself. So this is a new thing which comes up in a QR code, and it can capture each and every detail, whatever you want. And if you are in this railway business, in a ticket counter, you can suggest this type of things can be done. It can be helpful for other people to book the tickets, and you'll get more and more things, more and more feedback for it, and your business will have a float where the QR code stands alone with that impact in any business. So QR code nowadays, if I say in my words, it's a really hot cake in it, because everybody wants that QR code to be generated for the business, whether it is for products, whether it is for ticketing, whether it is for movie theater, anything. QR code is everywhere, wherever you take your eyes in anywhere. So in a domestic or in a business tool, these this thing is really important, because for me, if I scan it, my things are really bit easy. It's a convenient to use. So in a business module, if you apply these things, this is a new thing which I came across for the railways. If you are in this business, you can also use it and you can make it imply on your business. That makes a little bit easy, even if you are doing um, this ticketing counter. You can This can be really, really helpful for your business. So this is how my case study is about the QR code with the e-ticketing, how it helps your business. That is the important part. And if you want any information about the our company or the products or anything, or you want to leave a feedback for that particular thing, you can just message me. I can book the appointment for you. And if you want any related information, you can also ping me in the inbox. I would be very happy to help you out, because I'm really concentrated, because customers the are a god for us, because if there are no consumers, the business is nowhere. So if the consumers in a very high rate, the business have a float in this. So this is how the entire digitalization and QR code works, and this is a very powerful impact in that. So I would suggest, please try to implement QR code in your business, whatever the business you have. You will get immense effect on it. And if you want any customer insights or any report done for your brand or your company or your product, just let me know so we can help you out for any strategies or innovation in it. We can always ready to help you guys. Hope you like this session. Thank you so much for joining us.